The reality is, there's only one way that you can keep your kids safe on YouTube or on the internet, and that's...
But to me, that movie and it turning over and the people dying and the bodies floating around, it scared me for years and years.
You're exposing them to other people, to other people's lives and opinions and choices and language.
We did a video a while back that was pretty highly viewed. How many views did it have? I don't even know.
I don't know.
A million, let's just say. About keeping your kids safe while they're on the internet, while they're online.
Yeah.
And so we want to revisit that a little bit.
Yeah, so we shared in that first video, we shared some tips of things that you can do technically on YouTube, how to unlike or how to block certain content or different channels and things. But there's a lot of people that keep coming back saying, well, yeah, but what about this? Or what if your kids do that? The reality is, there's only one way that you can keep your kids safe on YouTube or on the internet, and that's to be there with them. If you let them go on their own, they are going to stumble across things that you don't want them to.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are a lot of things that you can do to kind of, let's say you set up all these things to block out certain channels, but if your child goes in the search bar and types in something and they're searching for it, they're going to find it.
Right.
So whatever it is on a browser or on YouTube, the best way is to watch YouTube with them. Like maybe I'm a strict parent, but my kids watch YouTube on our TV in our living room, and there's the channels that they are approved to watch. They don't watch YouTube on their own. Only my 16-year-old daughter, she was just recently able to have her own phone and she turns it in at night.
Well, I mean, strict. Yeah, it's a little bit in today's world, but I don't think it would be considered strict 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So why would it be? You're just trying to protect your kids. There's more junk out there than ever before.
Yeah,
and it is stumble upon type junk, because anymore, no matter what email you open up or what page you go on, there's some nonsense going on that's on a varying scale of degrees, from really, really offensive and awful to just a little, kind of. But they don't need to be exposed to that. Yeah,
the reality of letting a kid just wander on the internet and watch whatever they want on YouTube, you're exposing them to other people, to other people's lives and opinions and choices and language and discussion on a whole bunch of things. Is that really what you want them just to have full reign on?
Yeah. And there's an argument people will constantly make about online YouTube and video games and movies and media in general, that, well, you don't have to be that strict. It's, science has shown that, you can't prove causation, that watching a really ultra-violent video will make you violent, or watching something ultra-prurient will make you a pervert. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the point. No one's arguing about, will my kid end up in jail because he plays shooty-killy games. That's not the issue. The issue is what's in their heads, what's going through and for adults as well. It's like, what do you really need images of all of that nonsense in your brain while you're trying to be productive, while you're trying to live a good life, trying to be sensitive to inspiration or whatever? That clogs it all up. And starting at a young age, if that begins, it becomes
you think about the
somewhat addictive too.
Yeah, you think about the development of our brains and our thinking, and really until we become adults, there's a lot of things that we're trying to figure out. And
well, the brain's developing until you're about 25 anyway.
Yeah,
you're not even done getting.
But think about this experience. Let's say that there's a movie or a show, and you're watching it with your child, and there's a scene that might be violent, or there's a scene that just maybe it brings up an uncomfortable topic.
Okay.
Think about the opportunity of talking to your child about that and sharing your thoughts about it. So, because they're going to form an opinion, they are going to see stuff. So it's not about completely sheltering our kids and making sure that they never hear a swear word or never see anything.
Right.
But it's like navigating it and letting your kids know we can talk about these things. And you know what? I'm sorry that person said that. That was a racial comment. How did you feel about that? Yeah. It made me feel uncomfortable when it was, so having those type of conversations, that's the best way you can protect your kids on the internet. I've got two of my kids are teenagers, and we're right in the middle of this. My hope is that we're doing a really good job. We're trying all these things.
I mean, when I was a kid, my mom would take us to the drive-in in our little cheap car, or even if we were at the theaters. And you know, back then a PG was like an R today. If you didn't see G movies, if you saw a PG movie, you were going to see some skin. There was going to be some vulgarity. There would be some gruesome violence. That's just the way it is. But my point is my mom would always duck your heads. That was her term. Duck your heads down. There's something, I know this is here. And we would have to duck down, or in the car, we'd have to duck down. And why? Because there were times when I didn't duck down. And as a kid, just one image, gruesome, scary, sexual, whatever, it sticks with you. And if you don't talk about it, like you say, and that's where the beauty of today is, where we're more open and communicative. But if it stuck with me, it would inform decisions going ahead. For example, when the Poseidon Adventure, the original, not the remake they did with, I don't even remember who was in it, but from the 70s, we went and saw the Poseidon Adventure. I mean, I was 7 or 8 years old, and I vowed I would never in a million years go on a cruise ship. I mean, totally unrealistic. But to me, that movie and it turning over and the people dying and the bodies floating around, it scared me for years and years. Jaws, I am never going in an open body of water, even if it's fresh water, till I was 17 or whatever. Like, is it any wonder that there's so much anxiety, that there's so many mental illnesses or whatever it is of kids that are scared to death of everything? In this day and age, they are exposed to every scary, awful, terrible thing that Hollywood can concoct, whether it's based on reality or not. And is it any wonder when you go out to take a walk, there's no one outside anymore? Everyone stays in, everyone's scared, everyone's anxious.
I like when we get on a topic that you're passionate
well,
about.
Well, it's not
like
realistic.
Me.
Well, I'm an actor, for heaven's sakes. You know,
yeah.
I'm in shows and movies occasionally. But it's that to me, that's bothersome to me. And it's kind of, like I say, it's kind of why I think there's just so much anxiety. That's the new big thing. We always had it. We just weren't diagnosed. We didn't have medication. Now it's everyone's got anxiety in one way or the other. And we're not helping with all this.
We got onto this topic because originally we made the video on how to block unwanted content on YouTube, or how to keep kids safe on YouTube is another title. And so there are things, go back and watch those episodes. I'll link those previous episodes below, because there are specific tactics and settings you can do on YouTube to make YouTube safer. There's YouTube Kids, which is a separate app. So go ahead and watch those, but the reality is it's still not perfect. It's still not perfectly safe. Even if you get a great internet filters, kids are smart, and if kids want to bypass the filter, they can bypass that filter. They can find a different device or go to somebody else's house. So the real way to keep kids safe is by having these conversations, having these experiences with them, and not giving them free rein.
Not giving them free rein and getting them out of the house, which is way easier said than done. But if you're involved in their activities, it's more fun for them and more memorable, and it's time well spent instead of idled away.
There are 3 different ways that I work with people: my course, my done-for-you service, and my inner circle, brand new this year. Okay, my course is DIY, do it yourself, but it's my complete strategy. You go through 10 weeks, 10 modules that will help you get the ball rolling and generate momentum with the exact strategy that I use on all 27 channels that I produce. My done-for-you service is what clients like Noel Randall use, where we do all the filming, we do all the editing, the thumbnail design, the launch, we monitor the analytics, and help these channels improve month after month after month. Now, my inner circle is for 6-figure business owners that want to take their business to 7 figures and really want to scale their YouTube channel as well. You get a taste of our done-for-you service, where we just launch 1 episode per week. You're also a part of a community with other business owners that want to learn and implement the same strategy, and we have 4 quarterly retreats. Now, the studio houses where you'll be filmed, either here in Utah or in Orlando, Florida, are also big enough that that's where we're going to have our quarterly retreats. If you're ready for a strategy session with me to discuss whether my course, the inner circle, or my done-for-you service is a fit for you, then go to my website, BeTheHeroStudios.com. I'll link to it below, and anywhere on that page, click Learn More, and I'll chat with you then. The commenters have said, yeah, I've done that, but it keeps recommending these same things to me.
Yeah.
And the reality is, if you've watched a video by accident, or you watch a video and you think, this isn't what I want, and you leave, you can go and do, so on the video, there's always like the 3 dots, and you can click on it and open it up and say not interested. And